April 24th, 2023, and it is a acrylic day because it's Monday, and I'm going to spend a total of 6 hours working on this today, so let's see where it gets from here. I think it's got 14 hours into it right now, as is. Let's see how far we can take it. Hopefully I can at least get done with the upper and lower, the stalactites and stalagmites. Hopefully. And yeah, so today I went on a walk with my mom to a garden nursery. It was a lot of fun, and I got some beautiful clips, and I'm going to put those in. It's so gorgeous down there. I actually want to take one of my acrylic days and just go plein air paint and like sit down there and paint the flowers, and if I do, I'll try and record at least some of that. But for now, it's 5:30, so I'm about ready to get started. I would have kept the original audio in for most of this walk that I took, but unfortunately it was very near the road, so some of the clips were just extremely traffic sounds and just really loud background sounds. But this nursery is extremely beautiful and extremely inspiring. In fact, pretty much all of spring is so inspiring to me. I really want to come back here and do some plein air painting. So what I plan to do is go in with my acrylics, like a small set, and do very small paintings for reference to come back to the studio and do larger pieces so that I can capture the true colors of the location that I was at, and like an impressionistic kind of painting. And maybe I would even take those paintings and sell them, because I'm not really big on selling originals. I would do it with pieces that I'm not as attached to, but for my larger fantasy pieces, I like to keep those. I hold them very dear, and instead I would print out prints and sell those, and stickers and things like that. This particular area looked like it would be really nice to come and sit and paint. I was really excited to see that there was a big flower from, I believe, the camellia tree in the water. I don't know why, it just looked so picturesque. But hopefully look forward to seeing some of that from me in the future. I would just love to get some reference of here. And here I found violets. I was so happy. They don't even have a little plaque. I think they just planted them there, or they just started growing there. But unfortunately, they also, like my violets at home, don't have a scent to them. And I feel like it's only the wild violets that I find in fields, like growing on their own, that have a scent to them. But not the white or the yellow ones, just the wild purple ones. Here I was trying to capture this little water strider. I absolutely love water striders. When I was younger, I did a whole like art presentation on water striders when I was like in elementary or grade school, and I used to have a lot of them in our backyard growing up, because I grew up with a river in our backyard. Earlier I was pointing out that the wisteria wasn't growing yet. There was the arches that normally have wisteria hanging down. And here we have fruit trees. I really want property someday with ornamental cherry trees and also some real fruit trees. Most of the versions they had here were dwarf trees, but I mean, those are still nice, but I do want like the big fruit trees. I don't know, you can build forts in and stuff. And of course the doggos, they were so sweet. They're like 13 years old, I think she said. I see them every time we come down there. And now we're finally on to the acrylic painting. And if you heard some popping noises in the background, that was just my cat sharpening her claws on my chair, which she is not supposed to do, but she does anyways. And right here I'm putting a little more detail into the rocks. I was adding some more highlight layers, and then I go in with a glazing technique. I was really excited to do that because I kind of forgot that I could glaze, and I started using my matte medium to do so, and it made a world of difference. I was putting like a pale gray glaze on, and then I was putting like a purple glaze on, and more of a bluish glaze, and I'll talk about it a little more later, but I went kind of glaze crazy. Right here I'm working on glazing with yellow over everything that is reflecting the gold coins, and I'm going to be doing quite a bit more layers of that later on in this painting. I couldn't really decide whether I wanted it to only be on the rocks or if I wanted to add a lot of reflection to the items as well, but in the long run I just added that glaze color to pretty much everything nearby the gold. I had to remind myself to also paint gold reflections on areas closer to the viewer, like this gold pot that had coins and stuff inside of it, as well as the little pile of gold nearby. And I even put some gold reflections around the other pots, like the jug and stuff, because I believe I'm going to make it a gold colored jug. It just seems to work really well with it and brings a pop of color to the front. I also added quite a bit of yellow glazing around the torch that I'm not entirely certain if it's obvious at this point that there is a torch, but there is an ever-burning torch in this pile of coins and magical items. I've been working on glazing this, so I glazed it, the areas that are closer I glazed with purple, and the areas that are farther away, like the cave entrance, I glazed with a blue. So I wanted it a little warmer in the front, so I went with purple, but I also wanted it to still not be like super brown. But I did get interrupted for a while, although for a good reason. My brother came by and he fixed my water. So the trailer has had a water problem for months now. Basically, there was a gasket leaking and we couldn't leave the water pump on. So, like, if we wanted to take a shower or anything like that, we would have to turn the water and the hot water on and wait like an hour for it to be fully heated up, and then we could take a shower. But now that is fixed, and he also hooked the water up permanently so I don't have to continuously fill the tank. So that is a very, very, very good thing. I am so happy about that. Oh yeah, this is the same brother that, story time. Last night, he ran out of gas an hour and a half or so away and called me at like 1:30, so I got to go rescue him. So yeah, it was like 1:30, and by the time me and my boyfriend got out there, my boyfriend had to get off work early, a little bit early. We brought him gas for his car, and it was like 6-ish. It was getting light when we came home. That was an adventure, but it was a good thing. And now I have still 2 hours left, so I've spent, I want to say, 2 hours on this today. I know it doesn't look very much different, but trust me, I did a lot. And I'm going to do another 2 hours, and we'll see where we get from there. I mean, I guess it does look quite a bit different. I am now finally getting into the rock details. I am so excited about this part because this painting was stuck in the ugly phase for so long, at least in my opinion. It just looked like blobs of color, and it looked like every time I was adding more layers, it was just making it look worse, and I kept hoping the next layer would make it look good. And this is it. This is finally the layer. I'm adding detail to the background. I'm getting all these little highlights in so that you can really see the light from the cave entrance and how it's lighting up certain areas of the cave. I wanted some more jagged and choppy and some more smooth and rounded over time. And I really just can't wait to get more of the details in this painting finished and have it really come together. If you really enjoyed seeing this process and paintings like it, I post an update on this painting every week because I've been painting on it every week. And as soon as I am done with this painting, I will be starting up a new acrylic painting. So if you follow and you hit the bell icon, you'll be able to follow along this entire journey with me and see every new painting as it comes together. I'm pretty happy with what I've gotten done today. I glazed blue here, and I glazed purple. Hello. I glazed purple around the closer edges. Yes, hello. And then I did another glaze of orange over the edges of like the rocks where the gold would reflect, and as well as like here and over the gold in general and all the items on it. And then I went in and I started detailing the rocks. I'm especially happy with this down here. This is gonna get another glaze eventually, to like make it more pale so that it blends in, like it's more background misty. Well, not necessarily misty, but backgroundy. And then I started doing these, and I'm very, very excited to keep working on it sometime. But for now, this is 18 hours worth of work.